Yeah, that's a hard one. JJ, sometimes it's hard to argue with because it's pretty common sense, right? We could just do away with the 14th Amendment, but then we can't make a habit of doing away with things that were put in there. Okay, it's um, we can't let states decide because, like now, maybe things will be better in the future. Doubt it. Parties are supposed to come together and compromise. The reason we have a two-party system is so that one system doesn't run rampantly out of control where ultimate power corrupts ultimately. Okay, we don't want men to act like men are capable of acting, which is pretty damn cruel. And if you give them too much power, they'll turn into like Stalin, where you're murdering millions of your own citizens to make sure you stay in power. Men can be pretty fucking horrifying. Okay, we can't let states decide if we think someone's bad or not. That has to be done at the ballot box. Otherwise, every single election, these states are going to say you can't have that guy, and these states are going to say you can't have that guy, and it's going to become a he said, she said, and it would just be an untenable nightmare. Now, if Congress comes together and says, okay, we're going to pass a new resolution here, if this certain percentage of electoral college votes say, if you meet this threshold, and then you can't be on the ballot, and let the electoral college serve some sort of other fucking purpose other than not trust it to elect the person we voted for, since people have lost the election after winning the popular vote by many millions and millions and millions. Okay, and so I believe the electoral college should be gotten away with. Okay, at least this way we can make them, work for their wages, so to speak, a little bit. Okay. Okay, fine. You guys decide then. If you're so smart that the popular vote, if you're the whiz bang, then you tell, should this guy be on the ballot or not? And what percentage of you people have to say he can't be on before he can't be on? Now you're almost creating another branch of government that can make decisions. See, it's too fucked up. The founding fathers knew what they were saying at that time. It was pretty obvious that this guy shouldn't be president, and everybody everybody agreed he shouldn't fucking be president. Okay, we can't do that today. You're talking about a new vote to see if you can vote for a person. See, there's no, if you're going to have a democracy, then you have to let the democracy function. If Donald Trump runs for president and wins the electoral college but loses the popular vote by 7 million, that would destroy democracy. You see what I'm saying? Joe Biden won the popular vote, not just the electoral vote, because by that time, businesses and people had had enough of Donald Trump by then, okay? They watched him bully his cell phone, get out of my way, on stage with, national, world leaders, and the man was just crude, walking in front of the Queen. He's a buffoon. They had enough. And that's why the Electoral College went so much against Donald Trump. And he lost the popular vote. Okay? If Donald Trump won the popular vote and the Electoral College vote, then I would have to admit, regardless of what I thought, that this is the America that I now live in. Get on with it. Not going to let it ruin my life. See? People would learn, businesses would crash. You know, the man was dying to go to war with Iran. He wanted a war. He wanted us to be at war during an election. The man's a megalo-fucking-maniac, okay? You know, it's everything. Just take whatever he says about this is what's going to happen without me, and that's what will happen with him, okay? That's how it works. We can't have states doing that. You see, that's just my personal opinion of the man because of my age, and I remember watching him discoing and shit, you know what I mean, back when he was the Don. I've seen the entire history, and then I watched all of the casino fiascos and the bankruptcies, and I'm wondering, man, you know, how does this guy still a millionaire, you know what I mean? I always wondered how he did it. I thought he was a gangster is what I thought back then. No. States can't do it. It gets too complicated no matter which way you go. And, you know, if you could say, all right, well, if 48 states say he shouldn't be on the ballot, that's the number. It takes 48 states, regardless of electoral power, regardless of size and population. Okay, we're going to go state by state. You know that's going to be a political choice. Red states, blue states, that's how it's going to be, right? We know that. And all the people in the state that are blue are going to say they were ignored by somebody who wasn't elected. And if you enact a law that says this is how it's going to be, okay, you basically created another branch of government. I don't see any way around this conundrum other than to do the right thing, which is that law was written long ago. Things are different now, all right? And it appears that there are millions of Americans that think Donald Trump should run for president. And now that's just all there is to it. You just have to face that fact, okay? And they are entitled to their vote just like you're entitled to your vote. And that is how democracy works. Now, any talk of taking him off the ballot, I am against. Because he needs to be beat down in November. Beat down to the point where people reject him to a point that destroys the Republican Party as it exists today. That he is going to lose by 20 million votes. More people are going to vote this November, I'll guarantee you, okay, than ever in the history of America. And a vast majority of independents and a 35% of Republicans are going to vote for someone other than Donald Trump if he is the representative for the Republican Party. I truly believe that. In my 71 years of experience, being fairly right about what was going to happen, just like go back and see what I said about Donald Trump, that he was going to lose by 10 million votes and that people despised him and didn't like him, and the independents were just going to vote for whoever wasn't Donald Trump. And right now, I would rather see Gavin Newsom representing the Democratic Party for President of the United States. He's pragmatic. He understands the truth. He's not, he doesn't get his leg pulled to the right constantly by these morons who have these pseudo whatever it is, the way they have of running government where work doesn't get done. But boy, we get impeachments and censures and, we trade speakers, we really fucking political when we political. It's like being political is their job now instead of passing laws that help improve me and your lives. You're never going to stop people from being people. Birds of a feather flock together. So you go to Texas, you're going to be voting for Donald Trump. Right? You go to California, you're probably going to be voting for Joe Biden, etc. It's very close how polls can get it about an hour before the vote's over. They're pretty sure, even if it's by a very small percentage. Okay? They're pretty damn sure. I think Donald Trump's going to get crushed incredibly bad. And it will help finish off the Republican Party so it can start to heal, because we need a two-party system. We can't be like Pakistan, have 11 fucking different parties running, and so that 15% of the population wins the majority and they get to run the government. That is fucking insane, okay? Two-party system is just fine. It just needs to be brought back into balance. Right now, we have people that want to destroy democracy because it serves their purpose. It's if I win, everything's okay. But if you win, then it was rigged. There is nothing more criminal than that. There's no other thought more criminal than that when it comes to the destruction of democracy, is that elections are only valid when we win, because if we didn't win, something was wrong. If we didn't win, then it was rigged. It had to be rigged. Why? Because who wouldn't want us to lead? It had to be rigged because we're superior. We are the leaders of America. These other people can't lead you because we're better than them. You see? That's being a fascist. So we have to let Donald Trump on the ballot, let him lose in the next election, and let's just move the fuck on and try to get over this man who's done so much damage. You know what I mean? And let's hope all the people that followed him and got down on their knees with their knee pads and shit, let's just hope that all of those people's careers go right down the shitter with him. And we just, like wiping your ass, get rid of that extra shit, flush it down the toilet. You know what I'm saying? Let's just let it happen like that.